Deanna Eater. I'm with Polara Health, and we are hosting the show this morning. We've brought our children's services from Polara Health to talk about some of our different programs. And just to give you a little information about Polara Health, we have been in this community for 60 years. We are celebrating our 60th anniversary this year. And we're super excited about being in this community and for this community and doing what we do for the last 60 years.
So what's Polara Health, Deanna? Why don't you tell us that for our listeners that don't know?
Yeah, and that's a good question, right?
Yeah.
So Polara Health has, we've got 13 locations in Yavapai County. We do everything from mental health to behavioral health. We have primary care, children's services, vocational services, work opportunities. I mean, there's so many programs. Actually, we have over 50 programs that we offer and services. So we do a little bit of everything all around mental and behavioral health in this community.
And you said we. Who's we?
Oh, there's 300.
Who are these people with you?
Well, let me introduce my people that I brought with us. So, like I said, we have our children's services, and I brought Leah Webb. And Leah, I'm going to let actually everybody introduce themselves and what they do with our organization.
Perfect.
So I've got Leah Webb, I've got Quentin Kryling, and I've got Heidi Axine. And so they're all in our children's services. They all have different positions within our children's services, and some of them have been with us for quite a while. So my thought was to have them introduce themselves, tell a little bit about what they do, why they do it, why they chose to go into this career, because it's not for everybody.
That's true.
And a little bit about the children's services part. So,
Okay, let's do it.
shall we start with Leah?
Unless you want to talk to Drew. Nobody wants to talk to Drew, though. Yeah, he's shaking his head.
Waving at Drew.
Good morning.
Morning, Drew. Hey, you can step in anytime. You got questions, that type of stuff, you step right on in.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, he might need to sign up.
I need a lot of help.
We have some 24-hour facilities if you need us.
Nice to know. Thanks.
So let's have Leah kick it off today and talk a little bit about what you do for our organization and our children's services.
All right. Good morning. My name is Leah Webb. I'm a director of children's services at Polara Health. I've been there for 21 years. So I've had a range of different roles. And I mean, to speak to my why, I think I've been called to service for a really long time. I think that being a part of this community is super important, and bringing families and giving those that have a small voice a big voice is really important, especially with the children's in the family we serve at Polara Health.
Yeah, we actually do some amazing programs. We have a Birth to 5 program, so we're working with very, very little. We've got some support groups within that Birth to 5 program. Maybe you can talk a little bit about those.
Yeah, so our specialized Birth to 5 program, it's a center of excellence for a few of our insurance providers. And what that means is that we have specialized training, endorsement in Birth to 5. We receive credentials that mean that we know what littles need and what families need that have littles. And so child and family therapy with littles is a complicated thing. It mostly involves caregivers. But it absolutely is valuable, especially when little ones go through hard things, when families go through hard things. Within that program, we offer child and family therapy, of course, caregiver support and training, education. We also offer some respite and some behavior coaching for maybe the 4s and 5s year olds. And then, of course, community partnerships. So we partner with community agencies, participate in annual, Birth to 5 events, picnics, things that bring the community together.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. We're out in the community quite a bit with what we do in our kids' services. So, great. Let's move on to Quentin. Quentin can introduce himself. He works in a couple different programs that we have. So why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you do and your why?
Yeah. Hi, everybody. My name is Quentin Kryling. I am the Vocational Services Program Supervisor, and that also goes over our Transition Age Youth Program. That's take kids age 14 to 24. So that's how I dabble in. But before I dive into that, I wanted to introduce myself a little bit. So I've been at Polara Health not quite as long as Miss Leah here, but I've been here for a little less than 3 years. It was funny. I was kind of doing some college exploration and paths of that sort during my 20s. And then at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Am I doing really what I want to do? And I found once I got my bachelor's in psychology, I was like, I'm going to try out working in mental health. And it has just been such a game changer. I love giving back to the community, connecting with individuals that I see each day. And through my persistence and diligence too, I've had the opportunity to even step into a little bit of a leadership role while being at the clinic. So that's been really fun, and I've enjoyed just getting to know the community and help all those that are in need. Especially, I focus in with teenagers starting around 14 or so, and realizing that not everybody's circumstances look the same. That sometimes people do need to get out in the community early, do need to look for work, do need to build some of those skills, prepare for adulthood, all of the above. So I've been super glad and that I've been able to join this community and been super passionate about helping those that stand in need.
Well, and you're working on some licensing also, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm wearing probably a few too many hats for my own good, but I do what I can. I'm in the process of becoming a licensed therapist as well, and I'm just finishing up my last semester of school. So
That's great.
that's in addition to the role that I hold as the program manager. So
Yeah, that's the great thing about Polara Health too, is that people who want to work on additional education and furthering their licensing, you can come in and work for us. And we have people who, what's the word I want?
Clinical supervision.
Yeah, we do a
Yeah.
lot of that, and we have people needing to work on hours, that type of thing. So, yeah.
yeah, and that's a beautiful thing too. I appreciate you mentioning that because I realized more and more even though I've been there just a little less than 3 years, the more that I give back to Polara, the more that it gives back to me. So it's a mutually beneficial relationship, and I continue to build good rapport with those that I come in contact with, and I've just been super grateful for the opportunities. I didn't know I was going to be able to grow and flourish so much when I first started with the organization, but now all sights are set on Polara. I'm not planning to go anywhere else. I really love the organization. So
It's great. It's great working with Quentin because he brings in that young energy. And so we've done a few events together, and oh my gosh, he's a hoot. Love it. Yeah.
yeah, and I love to translate that energy too in the way that we're helping our individuals. Some come in, they're feeling a little bit downtrodden, this or that, and it's fun to bring that light that helps shine throughout our community.
That's
So.
great. Thank you, Quentin. And then we have Dr. Heidi Exene, and Heidi runs our autism program. So I'm going to let her talk a little bit about that and herself.
Oh, yes. Good morning. I am Heidi Exene. I have been with Polara Health going into my 13th year now. I'll start with my backstory and I guess my why as well. Just out of life circumstances, many years ago, I ended up in a self-contained classroom at a high school where I became an aide, and I had no idea what I was getting into. And I met a young man who was getting ready to age out of the high school system, and he was on the spectrum, and his parents had no idea really what to do with him and didn't have the skills or resources to really support him. So they would send him to school and then lock him in his room. And I just remember being really young and really impactful. And then as I got older, I became a transitional coordinator where I help transition people with disabilities and autism out of institutions. Because we know many years ago that was a family's only outlet for some of these when they aged out of school for some of these individuals. And I just remember really learning once you really got individuals in a setting and taught them skills and gave them a little choice, we really saw that people can live fairly independently and really integrate into our community with supports. And, that level of support is obviously dependent upon the individual and where they're at. But, it really fills my cup to see when we provide somebody with skills and choice, to see them flourish, to see them integrate and be members of our community. And that's my why. I do supervise an autism team within the clinic. We are recognized as a center of excellence within one of our insurance funders, which, as Leah Webb said, that comes with some training and some other really nice perks. And as an autism supervisor, we provide parents and the kiddos with skills, respite services. We really like our group skill setting so that we can let people integrate, make connections, and really feel as a part of the community, because inclusivity is really great, but really we strive for belongingness.
Right. Heidi just actually finished her doctorate in special education.
I did, yes.
And so she did that while working full-time with us also. So it's great that people can continue their education and continue working through some of the different licensing that's out there.
Yeah, Deanna, I think we've all gone to school at Polara.
Yes, you have too. That's right. That's
I
right.
think we've all
Yeah.
completed school, internships, all the things, had many hats. while we worked.
That's the great thing about it. So if we've got people in the community that are looking to kind of get into this industry, to know that you can come to us and then work and continue your education and licensing. So, yeah, super great. All right. How are we doing?
Doing well. You still have time.
Oh, you love that.
You got like
Okay.
6 minutes. So you can keep going.
Keep going.
Yeah.
So Heidi actually brought her service dog in today, and
I did.
that's DJ Piddles. And DJ actually wears a Polera Health tag when he's at our offices, and he sits down on the floor with the children, and she
Thank you.
sits down on
She's
the
a lady.
floor with the children, and it makes the kids feel really at ease when they come into our clinic, because a lot of times kids are dealing with some things when they walk in. So-
Absolutely. She's probably called to our lobby 2 or 3 times a day just to greet children. Sometimes they're really nervous about why we're there and what's going on, and having to go to a counselor with some pretty heavy stuff. So DJ is over-treated daily while we work. But sometimes, there's nothing better than petting a doodle while you're working through some really hard things. And it really just helps people feel safe and more at home. And even if you want to look at the bigger pictures, we also, and DJ may hate this, but we've also helped some kids work through their not so safe hands with dogs. Sometimes when you're on the spectrum, it's a sensory processing disorder, and you don't realize that pull, that tug, that touch may be a little too much. And so we've really helped them learn some safe hands around pets in a supervised setting, where the dog's not going to react in a negative way. So yeah, she's pretty amazing.
She is pretty amazing, and the kids respond to her really well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I love that. So what we're going to do is we're going to end up digging into our children's services a little bit more, and Leah's going to talk about that. We've got some events coming up that we want to share with the community and talk a little bit about that. And we just want to remind people that we are in this community with 13 different locations. Anybody can walk through our doors. We have a crisis stabilization unit in Prescott Valley behind Tractor Supply, and that facility is open 24/7. Anybody in crisis in our community can walk through those doors. It doesn't matter what your crisis is. It doesn't matter your age, your gender. It doesn't matter who you are. We want you to walk through our doors when someone is in crisis, and it could be a loved one, it could be a neighbor, it could be just getting out of the house for 24 hours. We don't care. We're there to serve. And so our crisis stabilization unit has crisis navigators that are there, and they are ready and willing to meet you and work through things. So walk through our crisis stabilization unit doors. We know life is a little hard right now, and there's a lot of crises in our community or in our country, and so people are struggling. I think people are really struggling. So we're here. We're here for our community.
Okay. Well, you want to take a break?
Let's take a break.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
And we'll be right back.
We are with Polara Health, and we are happy to be here this morning and talking about what we do in this community and for this community. And joining me today is our Children's Services. And so Leah's going to dig a little bit deeper into what we do and how we do it in our Children's Services and some of the different things that we offer and how to find us and where we offer these services. So take it over.
All right. So our children's services are offered in the Verde, also on this side of the mountain, Chino Valley, Prescott Valley, and Prescott. You can walk into any of those sites to start the enrollment process. Pretty simple process. You can also call for more information. We serve ages 0 all the way through sometimes early 20s. We have an array of services. They're family-centered and whole-person approaches, which means that we focus on the child and family's voice and what they feel they need, and also partner with them to help them resolve any issues they might be having. We provide trauma-informed approaches. So for our Birth to 5 program, we have child-parent psychotherapy, which is a evidence-based treatment approach for littles. We also offer trauma-focused CBT treatment and some EMDR. So a lot of options for families who are going through hard things, who have experienced traumas. And then also we provide specialized programs like we mentioned earlier through Quentin's program and Heidi's program. So a lot of options for families.
What is EMDR?
So EMDR is a specialized trauma. So eye movement desensitization therapy. So the focus of that type of treatment is to help reprocess events and to help stabilize the symptoms. And I think one of the things that is beneficial about offering specialized trauma approaches is giving options for clients and families moving forward and feeling a sense of progress and being unstuck in those events.
Right. And we know if we catch children early in their age, right?
Yeah.
And working through some of the trauma that might have been in their early years,
Yeah.
that we really set them up for success in their future.
Absolutely. That's why starting early, Birth to 5, it's a super important way to meet the families where they are.
That's great. Yeah, I love that. Do we still do respite?
We do. Yeah. So Heidi mentioned earlier the respite events we offer. So in group settings, but also in homes. So we have contracted, specialized respite providers who provide overnight respite and some day options as well. Like Heidi mentioned, the group respite is a great opportunity for clients to socialize and to have a break, to have some rest and relief, and also for those families to have some rest and relief. So it's a wonderful program. It's a great way to bring clients together in the community and to support our families.
That's great. I know we did do some field trips. I think we're still doing field trips.
We're trying.
Yeah.
It takes a lot. It takes a lot of effort from not just the staff, but also bringing the families together on the same day.
Some coordination.
Yep.
It's great. How does early intervention with children really change the outcomes with kids? How does that impact a child? I mean, you might even have an example.
Right. Well, I think the biggest thing to think about is how much the brain is growing and changing during that time, and how vulnerable littles are to their environment, and also how hard it is to care for a little one. So there's a lot of challenges that families face, a lot of struggles and needs that are unique to their experience with littles, and so being able to meet them in that space and help them grow and thrive and reset their path a little bit is really the best way to navigate that.
What is that little support group that we have for, like, what is it, 2 and 3 year olds or 3 to 5 year olds?
Yeah, so we have a few options. One of the things we're trying to get going again is our little support group for parents and children together.
It's great.
So having them all in one space, and so we used to call it social butterflies and caterpillars. It's just a great
Cute
way to bring little ones together with their caregivers. And of course, the caregivers get to have some peer support from other parents.
Absolutely.
And that's helpful too.
I remember raising my kids. I was in a mom's group, and it was so important to just have connection, right? Because you can be fairly isolated when your kids are little.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's really great to have that connection and support and training, truthfully,
Absolutely, yes.
and input from other parents.
Yeah.
So it's great. Good. So we talk a little bit about like a family-centered approach or a whole person approach. Kind of, do we have a difference between that? Is that all kind of similar meanings to things?
Well, I think with the family-centered approach, we're looking at the family being in the center of that treatment. So their culture, the things they value, the way they do things is important to incorporate into the treatment. Whole person is looking at not just the symptoms that they're reporting or that we're seeing. It's their entire life, their health, their social networks, unmet needs in their social world. So one thing we try to identify is the things that are impacting them around them that could be increasing symptoms or increasing distress.
Yes.
So screening for what we call social determinants of health, finding out what we can do to connect them to community resources, to connect them to more support.
It's great. And I know a lot of our people that work, our case managers, they go out in the field, right? You're not necessarily coming into our offices.
Absolutely, yes. So home-based, community-based interventions are super important. If families are open to that, it can really elevate the treatment progress.
So it's really just meeting the client where they're at and figuring out what their needs are.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. Great. What's another question I have for you? What do you think parents or caregivers want to know if they're wondering whether their child needs support? I mean, how do people
I think
determine that?
being open to just taking the first step. It can be big. There's still a lot of stigma around mental health treatment. I think there's a lot of just concern that they are going to be getting into something they don't know if they can continue, or if they feel like it's too much to handle. Just taking that first step and asking for help and coming into one of our sites and starting the intake process and then going from there. I think that sometimes mental health treatment can feel big and overwhelming, so
Yes.
making it smaller and just meeting the needs that are in this moment.
That's great. So 4 sites in our county that we're doing children's services out of. We do Prescott Valley, Prescott, Chino Valley, and Verde Valley. You can walk through the doors at any one of those sites, and our front desk can help you. You can call us at 928-445-5211, or you can go to polarahealth.com, and we've got information on our website about all of our children's services and how to contact us.
Yeah.
So,
And we have the referral process through our website as well. So community partners can also make referrals out, and we can outreach to those families as well.
That's right. I had forgotten about our referral process. That's great. And we're looking at and starting to do a little bit of primary care for our children too, if they're needing it. So we find that sometimes people are not comfortable going to different locations for different services, right? So if they're comfortable coming to our location and knowing that we can offer some primary care for children or teenagers, we're starting to do that too. We've got providers that can do that.
We do. We have primary care in the Prescott Valley location. So if you already receive services through our Prescott Valley office, it's great to be in one spot.
That's great. Yeah. I know people are always looking for primary care, so I'd love that. So we move on to our transitioned aged youth and talk a little bit about that, Quentin.
Yeah, absolutely. So, as I said earlier, it's good to be community centered and whole person care oriented. We realize that some of what we work here on the clinic is transition aged youth, or it's shortly known as TAY. So basically, this is a program that empowers those kiddos from age 14 to 24. So like Leah was saying, middle teenage years to early adulthood, realizing that work and school, or a combination of the both, is super integral to one's mental health. And so, we have ever-changing work dynamics, and it seems like workplaces are harder to get into, especially after COVID. Still, I know that we're here about 6 years later, but it can be a little bit of a challenge reintegrating into that community and maybe getting your first job or getting another job. And so what we offer here is some skills-based training. We also do have community partners that we partner with as well to help these people find the services they're looking for. But a huge part of mental health, I'm going to argue, for all 4 of us here, maybe one of the reasons that we continue on and are able to do what we do is because we have a place to show up to work every day, and not everybody has that. So I think the beautiful connecting bridge in that idea is that connect with our services, and we're able to help you reintegrate into the community, get a job, go to school, We've had some instances even where people have been, they go to Yavapai College here. We play our cards right and help them fill out their FAFSA, things of that nature, and people are getting paid to go to school. Some of these transition age youth, which is so cool. What a cool way to set a path for your future and get paid to do it while you're going. So
Great. Let's continue this conversation about this group of kids that age group. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with you. Well, welcome back to our show this morning. And I am Deanna Eater, Director of Marketing with Polara Health. And we are here talking about our children's services today. And if you are interested and like to call in and ask one of our specialists, our people, a question, you can call 928-541-1016. And we are happy to answer any questions that you might have. So prior to break, we were talking with Quentin about our transition to aged youth program for ages, you said 14 to 25?
14 to 24.
14
Yep.
to 24. And so let's dig in a little bit more about what we're doing and who those kids are, how we're reaching out to them, and what kind of are they doing and seeing in this community.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Leah was saying earlier, when people come in and have their intake here at the clinic, they'll usually get referred to a handful of services. And one of the services that we offer for, again, kids aged 14 to 24 are those early skill building and job searching endeavors that they're pursuing, and that's integrated into their mental health. And so we do all sorts of things. We have some volunteer programs even here at the clinic that we have people that if they are in that age range or even older and want to be able to engage in those services, they can. We also have work training programs even built into Polara Health's network, so to speak, that if people are not sure what it's like to have a job or have never had a job or have multiple barriers to employment, they actually have a trial period of about 90 days where they're able to volunteer and be reimbursed for their efforts in making sure that helping out a program, maybe learning something about a certain industry, whether it be the food service industry or retail. Those are the couple of options that we're offering right now. So.
Yeah, I know some of your people have volunteered at our autism picnic, and they've volunteered at our art event. I think they did that last time.
In the holiday event too.
And the holiday event. So yeah, we've always appreciated. I love volunteers. I always appreciate a good volunteer.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. And it's so great too, because it's a great way to connect and sort of give back to the community that maybe they have reached out to for help. It's a way that they can almost give back and feel empowered. It's so cool, and give them that relevant experience that they're looking for. Especially if you've never had a job before, that can be huge. Just understanding what it's like to report to work and things of that nature. And it's so wonderful that we can mutually give back to our clients, and they can give back to us too.
Right.
So,
and we have such wonderful resources in this community with Yavapai College and kids getting into college courses. And you mentioned FAFSA. I did FAFSA 3 different times for my kids. That is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So
yeah.
It's nice to have some help with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, it's just a great way that we're able to partner with our community, our community partners. It's like Yavapai College is it's such a staple of the Prescott area, and it's like, hey, you're connecting here at the clinic. Well, let's look at the resources that are available. They're just so phenomenal. People that want to advance and maybe don't want to jump right into the workforce, they're able to look at some schooling options as well. And Yavapai College is a great resource for that as well.
That's great. And I know you work with Heidi's program, the autism program, so we can talk a little bit about. We have quite a bit of crossover in our.
We do
in our
with
different
both programs.
Yeah.
What we love about the autism team utilizing our internal vocational is, when you have a disability or living with autism, you really have to learn how to advocate for those sometimes really small accommodations that help you be successful to work. I know for myself, I am neurospicy, as we like to say, and some really small accommodations I had to learn to speak up for and to ask for just really simple things to make it possible for me to be successful in my work setting. And often the vocational team helps our clients really learn how to speak up for themselves and how to advocate for some of those, it could be really little things to help them be successful. And I think that is really a bonus, and the ability to work side by side sometimes with some of our vocational services and staff is critical for that extra step in becoming independent. And finding employment and being a part of the community just helps people that are on the spectrum feel more, we talk about inclusivity, but we really want a sense of belongingness in our community, that you belong here and we're just not including you, right? And sometimes it's simply asking your boss, or during that interview process, just asking for one thing that can make yourself more successful really is impactful in the trajectory of your life. We love working with Quentin and his team for that. And for, Quentin, we really is person-centered, as we like to call, or whole-centered, I think is what we were saying earlier, on working with that person's values, that person's goals. We recently referred somebody to Quentin who is on the spectrum. He wants to be a civil engineer, if I remember correctly. And we connected him with Quentin to help him meet that need. So it's not necessarily small vocational goals, but sometimes it's the big dreams that we can help these kids make little steps to. And then again, we work pretty closely with the Birth to 5 team, because research shows that people on the spectrum, kiddos on the spectrum, have more positive outcomes when there's early intervention.
Absolutely.
And so we really, like Leah was saying, their brains are just growing exponentially at that young age, that if we can help them learn some skills and help them have different ways in their brain to respond to being overstimulated or their sensory needs, we do have better outcomes and more positive outcomes. So that early intervention, if we can get them into the autism program between ages 3, 4, 5, or 6, we see the amazing growth in these young people. We had a young lady, Leah and I have been there long enough, we get to see these kiddos come in enrollment and grow into adult services. And we had this young lady come in and all over the place. I mean, she was a lot when she came in, and now that we see her 4 and 5 years later, it is amazing to see what early intervention does. She's starting to have a few mainstream school classes. She was never safe around animals before, and now able to engage with DJ, able to engage with her pets at home. It is pretty awesome to see. And we just love working with all of our other departments, especially with those on the spectrum, to provide services so that there are no barriers to their care. And
I think that's what's also really helpful is that we have the ability to partner with each other. So we have case managers that assist in that communication and collaboration for the child and family team.
Yeah, and that's great. And I really appreciate Heidi and Leah both bringing that up. It's just there's such an interconnectedness at Polera. By having that and being able to communicate thoroughly and get insights from others that we may not have, it really helps us provide that whole person care and make sure that the needs of all the ranges of our clients are being met. From birth all the way up to some of the older years, and that's just such a beautiful thing to see.
That's great. And our autism program is out of Prescott and Prescott Valley.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
And we have groups in Chino Valley and slowly starting to serve the Verde Valley as well. Yes.
Great. Well, let's take a short break and we'll come back and talk a little bit more about our autism program. Welcome back. And thank you for joining us this morning. We are thrilled to be here to talk about our services in this community. Like I said, we are celebrating our 60th anniversary this year. We've been in this community since 1966.
It's wild.
And it is wild.
It's a long time.
It's a long time for any organization to exist, but for a nonprofit to survive in this community. And it tells you a little bit about who we are. We are for this community and in this community. And so we want to meet the needs of anybody that is in needs of services. With our different services that we offer and our different locations. We just opened up a new location too. We just opened up our substance use residential program. We've had one over on our Hillside offices, which is really old offices. And so we just moved into a brand new building last week, and it's over off of Sandretto. Kind of work.
By Fry's
by
over there.
Sparklight, by where Sparklight is back there. And so we just remodeled that building and moved in, and we've got 28 beds for anyone that's working through substance use. And so it's a lovely facility.
So you're not only surviving, you're growing.
We are growing.
Yeah,
we're growing.
Exponentially.
We're growing. Well, for being in business for 60 years, you have to imagine we have some old locations.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so we're moving out of some of those old locations. And so we keep adding locations and adding services, which is great. So we're going to continue talking a little bit about our autism program, and we have an event coming up that we're going to talk about. And we also have this fabulous sensory room that we had a donation come in, and we put together a sensory room. So
Yeah.
let's talk a little bit about that too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we have technically our fourth autism picnic coming up. It's our walk and roll move for autism. It is April 25th from 10 to 2 over at Granite Creek Park, so right across the street here. And over the past 4 years, we've had, I would say, about 15 to 20 different resource tables set up for our families to, well, be connected with different resources to meet their family needs. I would say anywhere between 300 to 500 people attended over the past few years. We have some really other great things. There's games. We do a free barbecue, so hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, water, snow cones, all of that we provide free. Horses with Heart comes out. The therapy dogs have confirmed to come out as well. So there's some fun things for families and kiddos to do as well. And it just really fills my cup, frankly, to be able to provide a sense of belongingness to people on the spectrum while giving those families some resources and some hope. Because I think hope is really an important thing for some of these families that are raising somebody with autism. And I think that's my favorite time of year. I absolutely love it. Again, it's going to be Saturday, April 25th from 10 to 2 over at Granite Creek Park. And then, as Deanna mentioned, we do have a sensory room that was developed after getting a grant from another community partner. That sensory room provides a safe sensory place where the lights are low. There's different tactile, sensory items in there to help a kiddo be regulated, help them find what it takes to be regulated, how to meet that need. And frankly, Deanna, we have sensory spaces at Chino Valley as well, and a sensory space over at the Windsong location for kiddos as well. And I think, like I said, all programs use them. It turns out it's just not beneficial for somebody on the spectrum, but really all kids like a safe, quiet place
Absolutely.
to hang out in,
Yeah.
right? And we see the Birth to Five team use it quite a bit, but it is pretty amazing, and I'm so grateful. And then also at 3 of our locations in Prescott Valley, Chino Valley, and Prescott location, we also have resource libraries where parents and kiddos can come in and kind of look at a bunch of resources and their books, children's books, books and resources for their parents on raising a kiddo on the spectrum. There's adult books for kids or adults on the spectrum where they can be like, Autism in Heels, for example, is in there. All of Dr. Temple Grandin's books are in there. There's also games and movies and just different items for people that are enrolled to come and take from us and check it out, almost like a library. You have to bring it back to me. I'm just kind of trying to ease access to items and ease access to resources and information. We find that sometimes the biggest barrier is access, right?
Right. Yeah.
So we try to eliminate those barriers for our families.
You also work with families on getting through special services through the school systems too.
I do. I have a doctorate in special ed, so I know my way around the Individuals Disability Education Act and Section 504. So I attend a lot of IEP meetings, and I really, really enjoy advocating for what these kids need. I think it's really important, and a lot of times parents walk into a room full of educators and professionals and get a little feel out of water, if that, like a fish out of water, I think is the thing people say.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of be that anchor for them. We kind of have pre-meetings. These are the questions. These are your kiddos' challenges. Let's see what accommodations, what specialized instruction they may need to help meet their education and make progress to graduate from high school. I really enjoy that. And I also help families often apply for the Division of Developmental Disabilities if their kiddo or even if their adult had a disability identified before turning 18. I can help walk them through that process as well. I am one of the few clinicians that enjoy paperwork, so I have no problem sitting down and helping them fill it out, because when you look at it as a parent, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. And, not only are they trying to keep their child safe, but, navigating all the services is a ton. And, you know, I keep saying kids, but excuse me, the autism program serves the entire lifespan. There's no cure for autism, so we have people within our program that are in their 60s and as young as 3. And so we just really enjoy providing services, and, you know, we do group skills, which I talked about, because that is our most beneficial one. But we also provide individual skills, respite events, parent support and education. I love helping parents navigate services, learning how to support their individual that's living with autism.
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much. We're going to take a short break, and we're going to come back and talk about what we're doing in this community in the next couple of months, and then how to find us. Well, welcome back. We are in our final segment of our morning program, and we just want to talk a little bit about how to reach us and some of the events that we're involved in. So Heidi mentioned our autism picnic. She's right. It's the 4th annual, and I keep calling it the 5th annual because we were canceled last year due to snow, which was just rude. But we love our autism picnic, and anybody in the community is welcome to come out and join us. We have amazing resources
Absolutely.
that people can come and talk to, organizations that are in the area, organizations that are in the state, meet other people, enjoy a hamburger or hot dog. So it's on our website at polarahealth.com/events, and you'll see more information there. We are looking for vendors, so if anyone wants to have a vendor table at that event, they can find that information on our website also. We are also involved in a called Kindergarten Transition Fair, and that's coming up Saturday, February 21st at Yavapai College. And this is sponsored by Yavapai College, and it's for kids that are transitioning into kindergarten. So getting ready for kindergarten doesn't start the summer before school. It starts from birth. And if you have a child that's 0 to 5, join us for the Kindergarten Transition Fair, designed to support families every step of the way. And that's being put on by First Things First in Yavapai College. And so that is February 21st from 9 to noon. Location to be determined, because I think they're doing some construction over there. We also have another event coming up. If anyone's interested, we are doing our 2nd annual Masquerade Ball, and that's a fundraiser for Polara Health, and that's at the Hassayampa. And you can learn more about that or be a sponsor for that event. And last year was a hoot. We had such a great time, everybody in their masks and their fun outfits. And so that is an evening of philanthropy for us. And that information is on our website too. So that's at polarahealth.com/events. So if you're needing anything that Polara offers in this community or are interested in learning more, you can call our main number at 928-445-5211. You can go to our website, polarahealth.com, and check us out. We have wonderful resources for our children in this community, and we just want our community to know we're here and we're ready to support them. So anything else? What should we tie up with?
Yeah, I would just say some, I guess, closing remarks is we're really grateful for this opportunity to be here today, and we're excited to be able to continue to give back to our community and help work with our community partners and make sure that all the individuals of our community, regardless of their age, are feeling empowered to overcome some challenges of mental health, to make sure that they feel empowered and that they know that the future is so bright and that we're here to help guide them along in that path.
That's good. Thank you, Quentin. Leah.
Yeah, we have a really strong team. I feel blessed to be working alongside such talented and just amazing individuals that have dedicated their life to serve and to help others achieve their goals. I think it's a really selfless act to be able to do that. So I appreciate the people I work with, and I appreciate being part of this team. I've been with Polara for so long because it's given me an opportunity to grow, to not just advance, within my professional development, but also just advance as a human. As cheesy as that sounds,
Pretty cheesy.
That's
pretty cheesy.
so beat that, Heidi.
Wow. Thank you for leading me to that. No, I agree with Leah. We can stay with the cheese roll because I believe, the reason we've been with the clinic so long is because I was put on earth to be of service to others. It fills my cup. I believe that too many people suffer in silence. Too many people, get through life without the few little things that could really help them be more fulfilled, to feel included. And really, it helps me to help them. I believe, especially when we're helping somebody who has autism, that skills really equal success and more independence. And then I also believe supporting their caretakers is a critical piece to that. And my goal is to have, autism not only recognized, but also have a sense of belonging across this community, and just to help ease access to services.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's wonderful what all of you are doing in our community. So I want to thank each and every one of you for joining us today, or joining me today. And Matt, thank you, Matt, for your help today.
You're welcome.
Again, if anyone is in crisis, you can walk through our doors at our crisis stabilization unit. It doesn't matter what your crisis is. We are here for you. We will help you figure it out. We have resources. We have safety plans that we can help put together. We've got community partners we can recommend. So there's so many things that we can do out of our crisis stabilization unit. So walk through our doors if you need us.
Yeah, and I think, and real quick, I'll just mention too that after that crisis is over, that we have sustained outpatient services too, so that we can maintain that and ideally avoid crisis of the future, but realize that we're here to help in whatever stage of life that you're in.
It's perfect. Thank you. Perfect way to close out. Thank you, Quentin. Thank you, Leah. And thank you, Heidi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You still got a little bit. You
I
got
do?
like 10 seconds.
I got 10
You're so
seconds.
quick.
Thank you, Deanna.
Yeah.
I know,
thank
Leza
you, Deanna.
Live, 103.5 FM, KYCA, 1490 AM. There you go. How's that? We'll be back tomorrow with another guest host who I don't know yet.